Hello and welcome to my video today. I'm doing it clearly in a different format. I'm sitting down at a table, hoping that the microphone being closer to my mouth will help the sound. No promises. I've changed the lighting and things like that. So today's video is not going to be very long. It's just based on what I think a World Cup should look like for League of Legends. Obviously, I'm sure many people have debated how would a country versus country matchup look, not only regions where we have imports and things like that, but outright nationalities and going against each other. And I'm not a fool. I know that China and Korea and Chinese Taipei and Denmark even and some other countries are just going to be really dominant in a World Cup scenario, but I think it is worth exploring, and I think it'd be very beneficial for league as a whole. I think that having that, how do you put it? Like, I feel like national pride's a big deal. It's a big deal to everybody. So if you can have the players playing against each other for national pride, I think it's a big deal. I think it is more hype than what MSI is. I think MSI, I think players like MSI because it's an international event, but at the same time, I think it's coming, it's starting to look like it's coming to a head here for players. Like, I think that players don't, think spring split matters. I mean, you go to MSI, but now you're burnt out. You didn't get the break. So you have to do something that will make them more willing to play. And I think a scenario where you have a country versus country sort of tournament going, I think that it's a big deal. I think it's something that players can get behind. Obviously, people are going to say, "Well, at the All Star event, they used to do this," and it's like, yeah, but at the All Star event, it was like a exhibition. I mean, it's like for fun event, and I don't think this should be a for fun event. I think it should matter. I think that national pride's a big deal to some of these countries, especially non-American country. I mean, in the U.S., it's a little different, but in these other countries, I think it's a big damn deal. Obviously, you have the Asia Games now by themselves, the second biggest tournament behind the Olympics, and they're doing League of Legends in the Asia Games. And that's what's kind of inspired me to make this video. You say to yourself, well, you have China, you have Korea, Chinese Taipei, Taiwan, and Vietnam are the four countries I went over. But Saudi Arabia was involved. Even like Egypt is in there and things like that. And I'm just like, oh, well, maybe Egypt isn't because Egypt's in Africa, but they play in the same kind of, they play in the same regional tournament as Saudi Arabia. That's what threw me off. But you got like Indonesia, Malaysia, places like that. Even Kazakhstan had a team. India has a team. And that all makes sense. Why aren't we doing a World Cup where everybody is against each other? I think that it is extremely beneficial. But then you're going to have to say to yourself, well, how do we even do that? And behind me, I theoretically have an idea. You even go off of the World's format. You have 12, the top 12 teams based on player base. They should be the ones that are guaranteed in. And we know that's China, Korea, the U.S., Russia, Brazil, Germany. I could go down a long list. I know I'm missing some, but it's not a slight. We just naming a few. The 12 top teams, 12 top countries based on player base. And then you have the next 16 play just like a play-in for Worlds, where the top 4 move on to the big tournament. And you do this, and if you do it offsetting whatever Olympics that this ends up going to, because I'm telling you, esports is going to be in the Olympics one day. So is it going to be in summer or winter? We don't know, right? But it will be in one. I think you offset every 2 years with this. You do MSI in between it. So Olympics, MSI, World Cup, MSI, Olympics, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? And I think that is something you can do. Korea is allowing players to get out of military service by participating in League of Legends esports at the Asia Games. I think that shows how big of a deal it is, and I think every country should approach it in such a big deal. Like, obviously not everyone has military service, but I think it should be a big deal to everybody like that. So you've got these 28 countries, because I mean, I've done it before, and I honestly, it's a video idea I have planned for the summer when I need video ideas, where I'm going to go over each country and the ones that can form a team out of like the top regions, and what would it look like. And obviously we've already done Korea, and we've done Korea, we've done China, we've done Vietnam, and we've done Taiwan, Chinese Taipei. So everyone else will still have to do, and maybe I'll look at them a little closer. Like, I mean, we saw what players were picked, but I mean, should they go in another direction? But I think this is a good idea. I think it's something that league should consider. I think that it's an event that could definitely bring in a lot of eyes. I think it could be an event that really pushes league ahead of other esports, being the first one to do it. I mean, a World Cup is such a big deal. I think that it would honestly, I think it would rival a world championship for a team. Because, I mean, in these other countries, like, we don't understand it in the United States, how big of a deal the Olympics are to these other countries, especially the smaller European countries. A country like Denmark making a run, or Poland making a run at a tournament like this, could be a big damn deal. And we have no idea how big of a deal that is here. And then you may say to yourself, okay, well, what about Spring Split? How do you make Spring Split matter? And I think you have to go back to the point system for that. I think you have to reward teams that do well in spring, and have those points carry over to summer in some format. I think behind me have it 50, 25, 10, 5. I think that's how I have it for first, second, third, fourth, or even 50, 20. No, it's 50, 25. So 50, 25. I think that should do something like that, and have those carry over into the summer split, and you have summer also have similar points given out, and I guess anybody with points ends up going to a gauntlet or something, and you play a gauntlet. Obviously, each region will want to do that differently. Obviously, LCS right now have a whole season put together, I believe. I believe they didn't renounce that. If they did, spring became even more useless. But, I mean, spring became more important. Sorry. It was pretty useless if you can suck during spring but can make a comeback in summer. I mean, you can kind of tank a few weeks and you have 50 matches to overcome it. But just looking back at my board here, you do a play-in, Worlds format. I mean, Worlds format's pretty simple. Like I said, you do the play-ins, you do double round robin. Best of fives to get out and move on, and you know, things like that. I think that it would be a big deal. I think a World Cup would be a massive thing for League. I think Riot should consider it. But nevertheless, that's the end of this video, where I kind of just gave a spiel, and I plan on doing another one like this right after this. But comment down below if you have any opinions of your own on what a League of Legends World Cup would look like. What do you think of this look for my video? It might suck. I don't know how the audio sounds. The mic's right in front of me, so I probably have to play with some settings. But, you know, comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you come back for more content.